I'll just make a prediction. If anything happens bad with Trump, he can't get something through, it would be Republicans that would screw it up. Because they screw it up. If you don't believe me, go to the Baton Rouge legislature. You just got to watch them under the leadership of John Alario to do it. It's amazing. 844-766-6607. Donald Trump's ban has freaked them all out. Absolutely freaking out the left. What we're talking, and by the way, I like what Priebus said. We're never going to apologize, ever apologize for protecting the United States of America from illegals. We got to get this straight. This is not about immigrants. This is not about legal immigrants. It never has been about legal immigrants. This is about the left under Barack insane Obama of opening the door and allowing anybody to come in. I ran into an Obama supporter the other day, and I asked him would he, and we got into a discussion, I asked him would he allow anybody just to come in his house? Just walk in your house, sleep in your house, eat in your house? No. You wouldn't vet them? He said, yeah, I'd vet them. They couldn't just walk in my house and say, why do you vote for a president who did that to the country? He looks at me like I'm stupid. I'm not saying I'm too bright, but I'm not stupid. He couldn't answer it. Couldn't I? There's other things. I said, just this one issue, tell me. Well, I don't know. I don't. Well, that's what happened when you talk to an Obama supporter. It's the don't know. It's the deer look in the headlights. Huh? I didn't think about that. I just know we got free health care. Oh, you do, which is not true. So here goes Trump. Ban on travel from 7 Muslim majority countries, saying a new pilot policy validates their claim. That Islam is saying it validates their claim the United States at war with Islam. ISIS and Islamic states are upset with us because we're trying to ban illegals. We're trying to not let people come in here and do to us what they've done to Europe. And the people that are getting mad, Brandon, are on the left in our country. And all the people who would bring in the terrorists, they're upset with us. Well, I wonder why. Nobody wants to get in their country. By the way, Brandon sent this to me, and I got it posted for you folks because I'm a nice guy. It's posted, and it says Iran just banned Americans from vacationing in their country. And the guy goes, oh, no, there goes my summer vacation plan. Who's going there? They're not going there. They're coming here. So, and they freaking out because, see, this is what the press is going to do. Every time Trump breathes, they're going to be down his throat. And then you got the likes of Lindsey Graham and John McCain ready to go. And, boy, they're going to love them Republicans. They'll be famous. All Trump's doing is trying to protect the borders. What we allowed a Barack insane Obama to do, and for the press to never challenge him on nothing, anything at all they let him do, it's crazy. Trump's not doing anything except trying to protect the borders. That's it. He's trying to protect the borders. Who would be against that? The left. Now, a few years ago.
They weren't always against that.
No. It depends on if it comes out the mouth of a leftist Democrat, it's cool. Come out of the mouth of a Republican, it's bad idea. Listen to then President Bill Clinton. What year was
1995.
it? 1995, which is just 21 years ago.
Addressing Congress
about the same issue, and the left loved him. Put their arms around him. Got stain on their dresses. Here we go.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
And by the way, that's the Democrats and the Republicans clapping. And what Barack Obama did was totally opposite of that. Nobody in the press said anything. No Democrat ever stood up. That was Bill Clinton, their rock star hero, the man famous for stained blue dresses. And it's amazing. It's amazing. He says this, does this, and the left claps. Donald Trump comes along, and all Donald Trump's done was overturn a fool. He overturned a fool's desire to destroy the country. The people getting mad at this on the left, the people getting mad at this is the Islam countries. They're the ones getting mad about this. And there is the rock star of the Democrat parties, Mr. Holy Roller himself, Bill Clinton. And look what they did. And the global, and then you got John McCain and Lindsey Graham upset with Trump and turning on Trump, the two leftist Republicans turning on Trump. What do they expect us to do? I like what Priebus said. We're never going to apologize for protecting our country. And they shouldn't. They shouldn't. We're looking at stopping radical Islamic terrorists. That's what we're doing. As soon as we have an event here, Brandon, they're going to accuse Trump's policies of causing it. And we've had them over and over and over again, under the one that just left. And thank God he's gone. He's not doing anything wrong. He's just trying to follow the laws. It's not a religious test. You got to look at who's coming here and blowing us up. Radical Islam all over these countries. That's who's blowing us up. What are we supposed to go look for? White women? Well, I'll tell you what, good luck. It's amazing. It's totally, there's Bill Clinton saying the same thing. And guess what? Getting a standing ovation from the Democrats. By the way, at the airports, these rallies, Brandon, and Brandon has a audio of this as well, dealing with, guess what they're singing? This land is your land. This land is our land. To illegals? That's Bill Clinton saying, no. We're a country of immigrants and laws. That's what they don't. We have lawbreakers that was running the White House for 8 years. We got laws. All he's doing is putting it back to where it needs to be. Okay, here it is. Listen to these geniuses that live in this country. Yep, a bunch of that was a Rhodes Scholar rally at the airport. A bunch of Rhodes Scholars on the left. I wonder how many of these people are going to say, "Hey, they ought to." Every one of them should have to take an illegal home to spend the night with them and stay with them and feed them, and don't let the government do it. And they'll vet them. Just let them come into your house, live in your house. And let them feed them, let them sleep in the same room with your kids, and sleep peacefully at night. That's what the president did to us by opening our borders. It's amazing, and everything Trump does, how Trump's rush moved the world. I mean, gee whiz. I mean, he's trying to protect the borders, folks. He's trying to protect the borders. You got people singing, "Our land is your land." Oh, ain't that good? How about this one? Our house is your house. Our house is your house. Come inside anytime you want to. Our house is your... Come on, folks. Nobody with sense would do that. This is idiots. This is total idiotic. To watch what we're doing and watch our own people saying, "Come on in, no problem." As soon as they rape or blow somebody else up. I don't say all of them. But we have laws. Why can't we be a nation of laws? That's what we're supposed to be. And Obama wiped them out. And these I'm telling you, everything Trump does, they're going to freak out on. Every single thing. and watching it. Look at Bill Clinton. I'll play that again. Was that not good? Bill Clinton basically saying the same thing. He just never wanted to build a wall. Let's take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Don't go anywhere, folks. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline if you'd like to be part of the Moon Griffon Show. Now, as the left works, by the way, George Soros out there, they're getting money to the Atheist Civil Liberty Union, ACLU. The jihadist groups are celebrating, saying that now validates the claim the United States at war with Islam. Well, if Islam wants a war, what do you do? They blow us up and kill people and all that stuff, but they're not at war with us. Anyway, comments posted on pro-Islamic State social media accounts. The best caller to Islam. And that's what happens with the left. They freak out. All these hate groups in these other countries got people leaving them to come to our country. Why don't they go to their loving countries, huh? Just you ever thought about that? I'm just kind of curious. He's not doing it for a lifetime. You realize it's a temporary ban, folks. The temporary ban so we can vet people coming into the country. That's it. They make it a big deal. We got people singing "This land is your land." Anyway, Chucky Schumer, who I always thought was the worst, most miserable senator up there, will be the guy that keeps sticking on TV. Oh, Chucky cried and just talked about it. It was so sentimental. Listen.
And I named my daughter, her middle name is Emma.
All right, so
named for Emma Lazarus, the great poet who wrote those lines on the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. What read the rest? So, this executive order was mean-spirited and un-American.
Oh, my God. Oh,
it was implemented in a way that created chaos and confusion across the country.
Obama did that.
And it will only serve to embolden and inspire those around the globe who will do us harm.
Boo.
It must be reversed immediately.
He's such a lying hypocrite. The policy that hurt us is the one he's reversing. The policy that hurt us is the policy of open the borders. Open your house and let somebody come in. You don't know where they're from. That hurt us. That was un-American. That was against the law. That hurt us. That was immoral. That was wrong. Not what Trump's doing. And Chucky Schumer knows this. Senator Schumer knows this. And it's making people around the world just want to. And everything that happens around the world, they're going to blame Trump. The press is ready to go, folks. And the left is ready to go. People like John McCain and Lindsey Graham probably fit the mold, too. They're ready to roll, man. They want it. Anything that happens in this country, they're going to blame. Obama should have got blamed for a ton of stuff that he never got blamed for. They'd have vetted him, he'd have never been president. I mean, he kissed up to people that are socialists and Marxists, studied under them. They let him do whatever he wanted to do. And look what Chucky Schumer's doing. I mean, outright, it started crying. His daughter was named after the poet. And I'm going, so what? My son was named after me. Whoop-a-doo. Woo! Y'all pumped up about that, old Chucky Schumer? I'm named after the poet. Who cares? This is not unpatriotic. It's not un-American. We're a country of laws. And what was done under Obama was the wrong thing. But wait till and I got to talk about Obamacare. Wait till you see what they're going to do with Obamacare. Yeah, by the way, Chucky Schumer at a rally. Listen to this.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Are we going to win this fight? Are we never backing down?
Are you dividing the country? Oh! Are you nuts? Oh! Are you a sicko? Oh! All that's true. Let me ask you, I wish Chucky Schumer spent half the time he spent on dividing this country, bringing it together. He doesn't spend any time on bringing the country together. You know why? He's a typical liberal socialist. Do it my way or you're wrong. Chucky Schumer, his motto is, when I want your opinion, I'll give it to you. This is what you're dealing with, folks. Nut bag, nut jobs, nut bombs, nut. This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're going to deal with over and over and over and over again. He divides the country. Obama divided the country. The country is divided. And they sitting there thinking that if we allow illegal people to come in here, terrorists maybe, that's a good thing. Show me where it's a good thing that a terrorist gets loose in our country. Would somebody show me how that's a good thing? Because then I'll believe you. Show me by allowing somebody to come over here that we don't vet is a good thing for the country. If you want to talk about immigration, not a bad thing. You want to talk about illegals? You want to talk about refugees? That's not a good thing. We're going to bring them over here and do what? Put them on Social Security? Put them on Medicare? Medicaid? Give them free schooling? Folks, Trump got it right. But the press and the left's going to make you think he's got it wrong. And anything happens in the world, blame it on Trump. Hell, they blamed it on Bush for 8 years. We got to take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline, folks. We'll take a break. Be right back. Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Always on time. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline. Brandon, did we get something wrong? I thought Kennedy was supposed to call in. I'm just asking.
Well,
there he is. Right. All right. Well, I'm going to let you wait because I thought they said they were calling in today. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. I got a lot of callers lined up. Promise we're going to get to y'all, but I thought we had anyway, they just getting through, so we're going to talk to them for a little while, and we will get to some phone calls, I promise. We've got a lot to cover. And, of course, we always want to know what our people are thinking. And, hey, if I'm wrong, you can burn me. Be careful. Sometimes we burn back. All right, United States Senator John Kennedy joins us. John, it's starting to fall off my lip a little smoother.
I'm getting used to it myself.
I didn't think about that. You got to get used to it quicker than me.
Yeah, people say, Senator Kennedy all the time. I just keep walking. I guess they think I'm stuck up because I don't know who they're talking about.
You know what? I can see when that happens. Nobody call me treasurer. I'm waiting for them to talk to me. Anyway, John, great to have you. I like to, me, if I'm not having fun and laughing, I'm not living. So I got to cut up with you. A few things. Can I discuss a few state things with you first?
Sure, I'd love to.
We got this ridiculous budget. You've been saying and preaching for a while, if you spend more money than you take in, you can't fix anything. And boy, here we go again. Mid-year budget cuts. They want to use one-time money, which, by the way, was the complaint about Bobby Jindal, and they're going to use it for the second time. And I want to know how Medicaid and Medicare affects our budget because it's so much money. Some of that's got to be affected, and the press is not writing about it. I'm just curious, does that affect our budget?
Medicaid does, Moon. Medicaid, as you know, is government health insurance for our low-income citizens. Mm-hmm. The feds put up about $2. We put up $1. We put up about a third of the money. They put up two-thirds of the money. Our costs of Medicaid have exploded. Now, health care is important, but so are universities and schools and roads and public safety. And one of the biggest reasons we have a deficit is because of Medicaid. And Governor Edwards says I'm not telling the truth, but just look at the numbers. When Bobby Jindal took over, Governor Jindal, we were spending $5.9 billion on Medicaid. Today we're spending $10.7 billion.
Wow.
That's about an 80% increase in 9 years.
Well, let me ask a quick question on that, John. What percentage is federal and state? Because I keep saying with Medicaid, it's fine. You got all this big expansion, but don't we have to put up money to get money?
Yes, and every time I cite the figures that I just gave you, John Bell says, and Dr. Gee at DHH, they say, well, it's all federal money. No, it's not.
I didn't think so.
In 2008, we were spending $1.7 billion of state money on Medicaid.
Okay.
Today, we're spending $3.3 billion. So
Well,
that's
double.
a 94% increase in 9 years. Our state money is going up about 10% a year.
But that's never talked about, John.
No, they don't
never
want to talk about the facts.
No.
So if this year we're spending $3.3 billion. If it goes up 10%, that's an extra $330 million next year.
Yep.
That comes right out of the hide of the universities and the public schools.
Good point.
I mean, we're spending 41% of our budget, of our $25 billion budget, $26 billion on Medicaid.
Yeah.
And now Dr. Gee, who runs DHH, she's a fine person. She's a good doctor. But all she ever does is flying for more money.
Yeah, but at that rate, that kind of tells you why we got a problem. They're saying $304 million budget cut. They want to use $119 of rainy day money, which is one-time money. I don't care how you look at it. It's still one-time money. I know they're not rating every fund right now, but it's one-time money. And, John, we can't – at that pace, I don't care what tax increases they come up with because we know we had $2.5 billion from Jindal to Bell Edwards, and it's not near enough. John, it's not even close to enough with $2.5 billion increase.
No. They could spend all the rainy day money, but as long as Medicaid keeps going up every year like it is, it's not going to be enough. Now, there's an answer to this.
Okay.
This is what needs to happen. Remember, we're spending 41% of all the spending on Medicaid. Mm-hmm. The legislature needs to decide how much federal money or state money we can afford. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the figure is. $3 billion, 3.3 like it is today, 2.8.
Yeah.
They need to take that, let's call it $3 billion. They need to call Dr. Gee in a public meeting, say, Dr. Gee, here's a check for $3 billion. You take that and you draw down as much federal money as you can. And then you take that federal and state money, which is all we can afford, and you design a Medicaid program and deliver as much care as you can. Mm-hmm. But we're not going to give you another penny. And if she says I can't do it, she needs to quit. She's making $236,000 a year.
Dang, almost as much as Jay Darden.
Plus expense. No, she didn't make as much as Jay, but
I said almost as much. He's $237,500, pretty close.
but she gets benefits on top of that, and I don't mean any disrespect. But all she ever does is complain she doesn't have enough money when she's got 41% of the budget.
Yeah.
And the universities know this, and so do the public schools, and so do the road folks. They're scared to say anything, but it's the truth. And the people at DHH have got to stop worrying about how much money we're spending and start concentrating a little bit more about the quality of the care they're getting.
Yeah.
Because the Medicaid program is ridiculous.
Yeah, and the thing about it, they're not talking about this. All we're talking about down here, and by the way, for people that don't know, you still live here. I mean, you're the United States Senator, and I know a lot of them go up there and don't come back, but you're actually going to live here and always live here.
My home, my mortgage, my wife, my fishing pole, my guns are all in Louisiana. Heck, they won't let you have a gun in D.C.
I'm about to say, you can't have one.
I mean, you got to go register it, and I'm not about to register it up there.
Yeah. By the way, talking to the United States Senator John Kennedy, our great senator from the state of Louisiana. Well, John, because of the budget problems, you've had to deal with this mess for a long time. I don't see anything that they did, anything that this blue ribbon panel did that changes anything we've been doing. And the answer is going to be if we can give another $1 billion to $2 billion, everything's fixed. It looks like to me they don't want to change one bad spending habit at all. So how does raising taxes going to help change anything?
No, all the blue ribbon panel did was say raise more taxes.
That was it?
Now, this is after they did the largest tax increase in Louisiana history at a time when the state was going into a recession. We're in a recession right now. Yeah. Not all parts of the state, but because of oil and gas, which is in a depression, We were just on the front page of the USA Today, third highest unemployment rate in America. I want to give a shout out to Lance Harris. He's demonstrated the guts to stand up and say, we got a spending problem, not a revenue problem. Here's where I would cut. And you know what the response he got? Whine, whine, whine.
Oh, they didn't. By the way, they didn't like it. They didn't like it. They didn't like it. It's incredible. And by the way, this is all of them, and it's a shame Republicans are sitting there with a way to stop this, and it don't look like they'll stop. And maybe they will. Maybe they will in the House. I know the Senate won't.
Moon, I watched, of all people, Governor Kathleen Blanco, right after Katrina, when we thought our revenues were going to crash through the floor. They went up eventually, as you know, but we thought the revenue was going to crash through the floor. She called the legislature in the special session in November. Look it up. She cut $1 billion out of the Medicaid program. And the sun came up in the morning, and the world didn't spin off its axis. Now, look, I'm not saying health care isn't important. It is important. But we can't spend the whole budget on the health care. We're spending 41%. It's doubled in the last 10 years, 9 years, and they want more. And that's why we don't have money for for universities and everything else. You can give them more, but you're going to have to raise taxes. And they just refuse to live within their means. Dr. Gee keeps saying the Medicaid expansion has saved us money. Are you kidding me?
Shoot, ain't no way.
If she really believes that, she's the only person in the Milky Way who believes that. I mean, that's the biggest bunch of nonsense I've ever heard.
That's like saying I don't have a house note, although I pay $1,000 a month. Yeah. And I don't have a house note anymore, John, but I'm only going to pay $1,000 a month.
And I'm not against Medicaid. I'm not against health care. But doggone it, they're getting 40% of the budget, and they want more. And what we can't afford it. And their whole game plan is to try to whine until the legislature just gives in and says, okay, we'll raise taxes.
Hey, do you have one more segment in you?
Sure I do.
Okay. United States Senator John Kennedy. I'm telling you, he's just flowing through today. Brandon's proud of me. We got him. By the way, I just remembered, I'm looking at my notes, Senator Bill Cassidy on Obamacare change that he wants to implement at 10:06. So don't go nowhere. We got Cassidy. Come on at 10:06. Senator Cassidy. All right. Take a break. Back with John Kennedy right now. Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. United States Senator from the great state of Louisiana, Senator John Kennedy. And I've been so used to calling you John. I hope that doesn't offend you. John, are you there? Hello. I don't think he'd come back. Huh? Okay. John, are you with me?
I'm with you.
Okay. Did you hear what I said?
You said I was the best looking guy you've seen, and I was the best fisherman you'd ever met.
Well, you know what? We don't normally like to lie on this program, but whatever you want to say, whatever you want to believe. How about that? Anyway, I said I so used to calling you John.
Speaking of all the pretty people. What did you think about Hollywood last night? They all upset because we're going to actually enforce our immigration law.
You know, that's amazing. And we had that earlier today, and we played. Did you hear Bill Clinton when he was the president?
Uh-huh.
Oh, did you hear what he said?
No.
Okay, let me play this for you. This was Clinton back in 95. I'll let you comment. I want you to comment on this. Bill Clinton, you tell me what's different between what he's saying and what Trump is saying and doing. The bottom line is, Trump acted off the bad policies of Obama. So listen to Clinton, John, and I hope you get to hear this.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it froze up. It froze up as I'm going to play it.
Well, I can't act like Bill Clinton
I'll get it going while y'all talk.
All right, John. Anyway, we'll try to get to that in a minute when he gets it going, because I am curious. They're tripping out over something that he's finally saying that we're going back to law and order. If you're here illegally, or from in these countries he's naming, or where we see terrorism come out of, and the left is going with them.
Moon, it's really simple. I mean, what the president said was, before you can come into our country, we're going to check you out carefully. and make sure you're not a terrorist. And if you don't check out, you're not coming in. And if we can't check you out, you're not coming in. Now, that's all he said. You know how many people his executive order impacted?
How many?
109. 100 people.
That's all.
Now, they made one mistake. They should have exempted the people who had already been checked out. They didn't do that. They found out. They realized it. They fixed it this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But I listened to those people, read about these people in Hollywood. They're going berserk. I mean, tell me a country that doesn't enforce its borders. Every country I know does. Now, we hadn't been doing it in America. We're doing it now.
Yeah. All right. Let me let you hear Bill Clinton though, because this is President Clinton back in '95. Basically, everything Trump's trying to do. Listen.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Now go ahead and cut it. All right, Senator Kennedy, did you get a chance to hear that?
Is that Donald Trump or Bill Clinton?
Bill Clinton, brother. And by the way, standing ovation from the Democrats on the House. In the State of the Union. Standing ovation.
No reasonable person can disagree, in my opinion, with what Clinton said. And that's just what Trump's doing. And all this other stuff, okay, they made a mistake, and they forgot to exclude people who had already been checked out.
Mm-hmm.
They fixed that, okay? As a sovereign nation, America has the right to have immigration laws.
Yep.
We have an immigration laws. The problem is they hadn't been being enforced.
Yep.
And now they're going to be enforced.
You notice Clinton said better identify illegals, better identify them. And that's what we're doing. When you say by the way, he's not banning from these countries forever. Temporary ban to figure out what's going on and who's coming in and what we can do to watch it. That's it.
I mean, my feeling about it was the president limited it to 7 countries. I thought that was a mistake. I thought he should have said, here's the new rule. It applies to every country. Russia, Saudi Arabia, and it's real simple. If we don't know for sure you're not a terrorist, you're not coming in.
Don't you agree, John, that this is about the regions, not the religion?
Of course it is.
And that's simple. It's that simple. It's a region, not religion.
It's not a ban on a religion. I mean, that's what the Hollywood people want to portray it as, but it's not. Now, it happens that many countries that are predominantly Muslim, not exclusively Muslim, predominantly Muslim,
sure,
hate us. They want to send people here to kill us. And they happen to be predominantly Muslim. But not every person in that country is a Muslim. Some are Christians, some are Hindus, some are Buddhists. I don't care what religion they are. If they want to come here, if they're Christian, if they want to come here and try to kill us, if we let them in, we're stupid.
Yeah. By the way, my example is what Obama did was basically open a door and say, come on in with no vetting. John, I got a question. You're an elected official, and I'm asking the left. Somebody knocks on your house tonight, 2 or 3 people, all men. You don't know them. They here illegally. I didn't say what color they were, what race they were, what religion they were. They walk in, you go, oh, come on in. Let them in your house. Let them go eat. Let them sleep in your son's room with your son. No problem, right? You don't need to vet them. You don't know who they are, right? That's what that was the Obama policy right there. But you would never do that in your house. I wouldn't either. And nobody with any sense would.
I had it happen to me one time. Guy knocked on my door at 2:30 in the morning. I got my 38, put it by my side, went to the door. He said, I got to come in. It's an emergency. I got to come in and use your phone. I said, I'll make the call for you. He turned around and ran off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now,
but Obama's way would be say, come on in. Can I get you something to eat? Don't even vet him. Don't vet him at all. Just let him come in. That's the dumbest.
I didn't ask him what religion he was,
No.
or what color he was,
No.
or where he went to high school. I said, man, you're not coming in my house at 2:30 in the morning. I don't know you.
Yeah, that's funny. When I went to somebody's house at 2:30 in the morning to do that, they shot first. They shot first and asked questions later, but I was running down the road anyway. John, it's always a pleasure. Let's do it again soon.
Thanks, man.
Hey, he is United States Senator John Kennedy. It's getting easier to say every day. All right, brother, we take a break. Senator Bill Cassidy and his great Obama plan, too, in my opinion. But I can't wait to hear from him because maybe I'm missing something and Bill can explain it. All right, don't go nowhere, folks. We'll be right back. Senator Bill Cassidy, senior senator, joins us. Bill, how you doing, sir?
Moon, I am great, buddy. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm hanging there. Last time I saw Cassidy, true story, Alabama LSU game, I looked up. He is pushing a grandbaby around the stadium. Am I right?
You are right.
You know, you ran into some people, apparently some family members, because they said, Bill said he saw you. You were walking around the game. I said, yeah. I actually run up there, watch a guy pushing a baby stroller, and I said, that's Senator Cassidy.
Well, I know the guy you went to high school with, Barry Carville. He and I are good friends over at Blackman. So
well, actually, check this out. Barry Carville, and I ought not say this on the air, Barry may not appreciate it. That's my cousin. That's a family member, man. But I don't, like I said, I may not should have said that. His reputation might be going down. All right, Bill, you came up with a plan for something to replace Obamacare. Look, I've been very critical, but I told Brandon, I said, but what I want you to do is explain what you're doing, what you're trying to do, and what does this do? Because I may have missed something, and if I missed something, I do want you to get me straight on the record, because when I saw that you could keep your Obamacare plan, that's when I lost it. It was on that big thing, but maybe you said something, maybe we missed something, maybe they didn't get it right, and so tell me what you're doing and what you're trying to do.
First, yeah, thanks, Moon. First, Donald Trump said he wants everyone to be insured, as many as Obamacare did, take care of those with pre-existing conditions, lower cost, no mandate. That's Donald Trump's position. Now, we got to figure out how to accomplish that. So what we do as Republicans and as conservatives say, first, repeal the Obamacare penalties and mandates.
Okay.
The federal government should not be telling states and people how to live their lives, number one. Number two, as conservatives and as Republicans, we believe in federalism. So if California and New York wants to reimpose mandates and penalties, stick it to their people, that I think it's a stupid decision. But lots of people do things I think are pretty stupid. But it's their life. In this case, it's their state. And it's also consistent with the Republican principle. We criticized Obama because he said you could keep your insurance if you wanted to, and he didn't mean it. We said, yes, we do mean it. So if California and New York want to keep their Obamacare, and they want to reimpose the penalties and mandates, and they want to keep the insurance that they have, then frankly, in the spirit of federalism and in our first principles, we give them that right. But we've got to fulfill Trump's vision. And now we may decide we don't care what Trump said, in which case we can scratch it off. Or may decide we don't care about federalism, in which case we can scratch it off. But if you care about Trump's comments and federalism and keep your insurance if you want, and we mean it, I thought this is the better way to go.
Well, my big question is, let's be honest with you when we talk about health care. This whole thing started, I think Democrats used to control people's lives. But a lot of people felt like, and you're a doctor, they felt like the cost was too high. And I feel like if you look at costs, and that's what we're looking at a lot. I'm looking at care versus cost versus care. Doesn't matter how you put it. But if you look at Obamacare, to say we're going to keep it in any state, it's going to be hell on the federal government, hell on the taxpayers. Why in the world would you propose them keeping it at all, Senator? This goes back to my tax dollars, and nobody should be under this. You agree? I mean, you ran on it. You ran to get rid of Obamacare, and I think you got to get rid of that 100%. I think here's the fear. Now, we'll give you this. At least you put something out there. But here's the fear with Republicans. Democrats shoved it down our throat. It was a horrendous lie. But the press never reports that. Soon as something new sets in, okay, they're going to report everything bad about it and start putting it back in our faces. That's what's going to end up happening. And I think that's the fear for Republicans because they know what's coming. They're going to report every negative thing. And I think what you're trying to do, and tell me if I'm wrong, you're trying to please about 8 senators to get to 60 votes. And my question to you is, why do you want to please one Democrat when they're the no rotten scoundrels that shoved this down our throat?
Well, working backwards, we cannot completely repeal and replace Obamacare unless we get at least 8 Democrats. Let me repeat that. In the Senate, you need 60 votes. Now, there are whole sections of Obamacare that we can't repeal and replace unless we have at least 8 Democratic senators voting with us. And that's just the politics of it. So if we really care about repealing and replacing, we need 8, number one. Number two, regarding taxpayers, we cap what the state can get. It isn't now, like under Obamacare, whatever they want to spend, they just pass it to the federal taxpayer. Stop, no, can't do it anymore, we cap it. But we also give Louisiana, the people in Louisiana, a similar amount of money. But it doesn't go to the state. It would just pass through the state and go directly to the person. I do not want the federal government or the state government controlling my life.
Yeah, but hold up, Senator Cassidy. Now, you've been there many times. You know good and well that if the federal government is sending money to the states or the federal money is sending some money to a person or individual, they're going to control that dollar. They're going to ultimately be in charge of it. That doesn't make any sense to me, and that's me, that you can sit here and say, well, the federal government's going to send the money and there's going to be no control on it. When has the federal government ever given back a dollar that they hadn't controlled it? And I think this is going to be a big headache, what you're trying to accomplish here.
We're trying to structure this more like the vouchers that kids use to go to the school of their choice. And so, sure, the school has to be an accredited school, and the money has to be spent for education. But so you can't take it to the boats. You can't use it to buy beer. You got to use it for education. Those are the minimal type restrictions we throw down there. And by the way, let's talk about the taxes. Right. You know who are paying the lion's share of the taxes? One, we don't touch the taxes. We figure those would be addressed when we do the second reconciliation bill, which is comprehensive tax reform. So we'll put that money on the table for comprehensive tax reform and then address it. We're just trying to do things one step at a time. But who paid the taxes? Principally, it's Big Pharma, who's done pretty well over the last year. Big insurance, done pretty well. Hospitals. Now, they're the ones who put up the lion's share of the money, and the reason they did is it works for their business model that everybody have insurance. So they agreed to stick it to the rest of us with these mandates and penalties, which we get rid of, to work for their business model. Now, we can shed crocodile tears for them, and believe me, I understand these are passed on. But on the other hand, I think it isn't Moon Griffon. It is the company that's charging $40,000 now for a drug that used to cost $1,000.
Okay. So here's who I want you to. I'm going to let you address me, and this is why I say me. Okay, let me give you my situation. Okay, I moved down to Lafayette. I got on a single policy. First year, no problem. As Obamacare took off, I paid my policy, and I'll show it to you. It's $2,654 a month. That's $32,000 a year. Well, actually, it's $31,800, but about $32,000 a year. We went the other day. My deductible went from $1,200 to $3,100. I got a special need daughter that my medicine after insurance has been $1,000 a month. It's $2,800 a month now. Now, Bill, the reason why I'm saying me, and I don't mean really me, I mean us. Everybody's worried about who don't have insurance. Everybody's worried about the poor. But people like me, a real small business guy, okay, I am getting butchered. Number two, there's millions and millions of people like me getting butchered. My question to you is, how can I get back in a fair game to where I can pay a fair premium and have good benefits that I've always had under the old system, but I'm screwed now. I'm thrown out in the cold. And the story I tell you, Bill, is true because I'm living it every day. I don't know. We paid $2,800 for Maddie's medicine in January. getting ready to come up again and I got to buy it. I want somebody to tell me, how do I come up with the $2,800 every month now? I want somebody to show this to me.
So, Moon, you ready, buddy?
Yeah, I am ready.
I think of you. I think of you because you have spoken of your movingly of your special needs daughter. And I know about these high premiums. A friend of mine, his Blue Cross renewal was $39,000.
Well, I thought by the way, mine was until I decided to take a deductible that's ridiculous. Now I got it to 32. Mine was $39,000. Exactly.
So what we've done, first let me say, under our plan, we had an insurance company model it. Just with our plan, premiums would be reduced by 20% just with one part of our plan, number one. Number two, let's go to your special needs daughter. She's got increased costs if she's like other special needs children. So what we do for your daughter is we make sure that we get to everybody in this group so that her higher costs are spread out over the many. And that would further...
But how? How does that work? What group do I go get in?
So we give states the option to do with... so if Louisiana wanted to, Louisiana could say everybody who is eligible would be enrolled unless they chose not to be. And the credit they receive would be sufficient to pay the premium. It's like when I go into Medicare. If I turn
by the way, let me stop you right there. See, I don't want a plan where the state's going to tell me what to do. I want a plan that I can go pick, that I can go choose, that I can go pay, because what I'm paying now is outrageous. And people that know me and know my lifestyle, it is no way in hell if something. I don't want y'all to pay a penny. I'll pay the whole thing. Just let it be fair for us people, because there's a lot of us out there, Bill. There's a lot of us.
Moon, I agree with you, buddy. And in our plan, we let you pick what you want. We get rid of these mandates.
Yeah, but is it your plan? Is it a government plan that I'm going to have to listen to? Or is it something I'm picking in the private sector and I don't have to worry about the government?
Something you pick in the private sector.
Well, I got to see that. I got to see that, because that right there saying, whoa, that's real good. But I'm still worried about the cost and how this thing works together.
So what we do, the problem with the individual market now is the only people signing up are people who are older or sicker. What we do, once the state has the option to do what we do in Medicare, and again, the state doesn't tell me what to do, the federal government doesn't tell me what to do. When I turn 65 on Medicare, if I don't want to be on Medicare, I call them up and they say drop. Turns out most people want to be on Medicare. In this case, somebody who is eligible would get a credit enough to pay their premium. They're on. Now you got the cost. Hang on. You got the cost of your daughter's illness being spread, or condition, I should say, being spread out over a lot of folks, some of whom don't even know they have insurance until they go to the emergency room. Yeah. And then they say, heck, I got coverage after all. Now, if they're irresponsible, they're going to blow through it. But if they're responsible...
I just got a bad feeling. I need to take a quick break, and I'll give you a few more minutes. I just got a bad feeling what y'all planning may start out one way and end up that the federal government jumps in and takes over everything, and then I'm on some other Obama-type plan. Hold your thought on that. Senator Bill Cassidy, senior senator of the great state of Louisiana, my special guest. He'll be back. One more segment to go. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Hi, y'all. Welcome back, Moon Griffon Show. Of course, the Hickson Has It hotline is 844-766-6607. Hickson Has It hotline. Senator Bill Cassidy joined the great state of Louisiana. Senator, one of the you see what I fear, though. I just fear like by letting Obamacare be counting other states, and I know what you're saying. You're going to send a grant money. They're going to be complaining they're not getting enough money. All of a sudden, the United States of America, the taxpayers are going to have to put out more money because California wants to keep it and New York wants to keep it. And the federal government, depending on who's in charge of it, they'll say, okay, we need to send these people more money. They're going to be bickering. They don't send enough money. It's not working only because the federal government's not sending more money. How do you answer that? Because I told you at the beginning of this, and I think we agreed, money's making all this walk and talk, nothing else.
So a couple things. Donald Trump gave the marching orders to create a plan like this. Now, I'm assuming Trump wants to take care of the finances. So Trump would support us as we did what we said we're going to do, which is the cap thing, to cap them. Now, I also said that we give power to the patient, and the patient can choose the benefits that she wants, the plan that she wants. We also have price transparency. I was listening to your ads, and you got the Vermilion Urgent Care Center. Uh-huh. I can tell you the Vermilion Urgent Care Center is probably 1/3 as costly as the local hospital emergency room, maybe less than 1/3. By price transparency, someone who has an earache can look up there and say, I can go to the Vermilion Urgent Care Center and get in and out for $50, or I can go to the emergency room for $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, I'm going to Vermilion.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I say that is we lower cost. You mentioned lowering cost. We lower cost by giving the individual the power to know how much she's paying before she has the service, as opposed to finding out 6 months later.
Yeah, let me stop you there. Somebody that's poor, that doesn't follow all this stuff, which a lot of people, they go in the emergency room. Bill, they go in the emergency room, it's going to still cost the $2,000. And if they're not, tell me how they're not going, because most people don't follow this.
So Mike Pence, the governor, now vice president, but when governor of Indiana, put in a plan similar to what we're describing for Medicaid patients in Indiana, called it Healthy Indiana Plan. And in it, they found that folks who were lower income participated with the health savings account. They had costs that were 70% of those who did not, and their outcomes were better, and they used the emergency room less. So someone might be lower income, but you show them a price, and they're going to pick the lower price. And if you will, Mike Pence, Trump's vice president, is kind of proof of concept that we can do what we want to do.
Okay, you keep mentioning this is what Trump wanted. This is what Trump wanted. I hadn't seen anything Trump wanted, and I know. Look, you in Washington, you maybe put something out, and I didn't get the memo, and I shouldn't get it. But what are you saying your plan does that Donald Trump wants? What's the 3 or 4 things that you feel like this is what he wants?
Trump wants everybody covered, to take care of those with pre-existing conditions, with no mandates, at a lower cost. Those are the 4 things he has said. Now, some reporters said, well, did he give you more than that? I said, listen, when Trump says I want a 120-story building in over 2 acres in Manhattan, this is how deep the foundation has to be. No, he says he wants 120 stories.
But Bill, Senator, don't you think by sending grants back to the state, it's still government going to be in charge? And you really think the federal government's going to send money to the states and not say, okay, this is the ruse this year. Well, this is the ruse next year.
We don't actually send it to the state. We send it to the person.
But it doesn't matter. I'm going to go by and use it. Whoever you send it to, the federal government, we don't know who's going to be president next time. You really think they can't put in rules that they want? Obamacare was nothing but a shell, and they filled in the blank as they went. How can you avoid that?
I don't compare it to Obamacare. I compare it to Social Security.
No, but you said, no, listen, but I'm going to go back to what you said, Senator. You said they can keep Obamacare. They can keep Obamacare.
Oh. Are you talking about California? Oh, then the rest of the country would have to agree to it. That's not going to happen. And by the way, it's capped. Well, I also said it's capped. So they don't get as much money as they want. They get a certain amount, which is roughly equal as what people in other states get. When
you have people in those states that you're talking about, Senator, when they cry and bicker, they don't have enough money. That's when the problem's going to come, I'm afraid.
So at that point, it's up to the state legislature to put up more money.
Okay, so it goes back to the states then. Okay. All right, look.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're protecting the federal taxpayer.
But do me a favor, as it grows and changes, you get people, holler back at me, and you're always welcome.
Absolutely, Moon. Thanks, buddy.
All right, Senator Bill Cassidy explaining what his new plan does. All right, when we get back, Colonel Rob Maness, and, of course, your comments, as usual. By the way, Captain Higgins, Congressman Higgins, radical Islamic should not be a partisan concern. We'll be right back. Let it be. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. By the way, we're going to hear from David Bertrand out of Shucks. They're getting ready to add something to the menu. I thought y'all might want to know about it. And people, I was in there the other day. Somebody from Alexandria, Louisiana was in there. So, neat thing. All right. Let's move on. Colonel Rob Maness joins us. Colonel Maness, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Moon. How are you?
I am doing superb. Hey, before we get into what you really called about, rumor out there you're running for state treasurer. I got to throw it out there. It's out there, so I'm going to ask you. Some of your biggest supporters that are friends with Brandon, emailing and Facebooking and texting him to death about Colonel Maness, he's the one going to win and all that stuff. And I said, well, hell, I'm going to ask him. I said, the worst he can tell me is, no, I'm not answering it. We hadn't decided yet.
We hadn't decided yet. But every opportunity to serve, we're going to take a look at, because my service to my state and my country is not complete. And obviously, with what you see going on in our state and nationally and internationally, we need everybody we can get. It's a all hands on deck kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. Donald Trump's in, and it's kind of amazing. He's actually doing stuff to take the laws that we have. And we heard Bill Clinton, if you didn't hear it earlier today, Bill Clinton saying on immigration and illegals, we're a country of immigrants, but we're also a country of laws. Bill Clinton, Democrat, by the way, they clap for him. And yet Donald Trump lays down a few rules and actually lists some hate countries that hate us, where terrorism flows through them, and they freaking out.
Yeah, he didn't even add all the countries that his supporters that voted him in really want him to. He's going to take a look at it here in 60 or 90 days if I read the executive order right. They've become unhinged on the left in this country. And where's the media been for 8 years with Barack Obama splitting this country up and dividing our population by every demographic you can name, and even made some up? And now all of a sudden they're wringing their hands when Donald Trump, all he wants to do is really enforce current law. That's exactly why we voted for him. It's because he said he would enforce the current law and protect us from people trying to get in this country and trying to kill Americans.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I did say where Priebus said that we will never apologize for protecting this country, and that's what it ought to be. But the left is going crazy. They're thinking this land is my land, this land is your land at airports. And we're not talking about immigrants. We're talking about illegals. We're talking about people who shouldn't be over here.
We're talking about people coming from countries and territories that are known to have Islamic State presence on the ground, have a track record of funding or supporting Islamic jihadi terrorism. And those are the folks that should have a tough time going to and from this country. And I guarantee you that when you ask them, just like they asked the first man at JFK Airport the other day when he was released, do you like President Trump? He said, of course I like President Trump, because his attitude is that we should be looked at, because it's people like our children and those kind of folks that go back and forth and get radicalized that have ended up in doing these attacks like what just happened down in Orlando, where 49 Americans, young Americans, are dead.
Yep.
And these people are crying in airports, committing federal crimes, and I want to see some arrests made and some trials occur for these people breaking federal law.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm trying to understand. You got somebody who claims they're going to protect the country. Rob, my example is real quick. Would you allow somebody to knock on your door any time of the day or night? You don't know. You've never seen them. And they said, hey, I want to come in and visit with you. Can I eat here and can I sleep here? And will you take me in? Are you going to just let somebody come in? You ain't vetting them. Just let them come in. And that's what Obama did. I mean, would you do that at your house? Would you do that at your house?
Heck no, I wouldn't do that. Neither would any other person with any common sense. And that's what Obama was doing, and that's what the American people voted for Donald Trump for. This is precisely why I wanted him in office. Look, I survived the Pentagon attack on 9/11, and those 19 hijackers were visa overstays.
Yep, no doubt about it.
It wasn't just Obama. They were visa overstays, killed over 3,000 men and women and children in a war criminal act. And it's devastating to see the snowflakes out there and their leaders like Elizabeth Warren and Chucky Schumer with his fake crocodile tears trying to stir these folks up for a cause that doesn't exist. It's the same thing President Obama did.
It's when you look at it, you just shake your head. But there's Bill Clinton back in '95 giving a speech on how we're immigrants, but we're about laws too, and they sending people back. They're sending people back with bad records. They're going to stop them at the gate. I mean, coming from bad countries, and yet the Democrats stood up in a standing ovation. All right, I just now Obamacare. Just your thoughts on it, because I can tell you what's happening, Rob. In my opinion, whether you agree with this or not, is that the Republicans, everybody knows, and Trump said it, if they leave it alone, it's all on the Democrats. They just leave it alone. But he can't leave it alone because people like me and some other people out here are just really trying to survive right now. And the Republicans know once they put something on the table, and it's all Republicans voting for it, the press, who never challenged the lies of Obamacare, which was one big lie, one lie after another, they're going to pound the Republicans because there will be some headaches with it. There's going to be headaches with everything we do, and all the press is going to do is concentrate on that. And they're scared to death of putting their name on it. What do you think?
Oh, look, Moon, we surveyed our 350,000 plus supporters for Gator PAC, my super PAC, in early January. And the number one priority, overwhelmingly amongst those supporters, was repeal Obamacare and all of its taxes.
Yep.
Repeal Obamacare and all of its taxes. Would you hear terms like, well, they can keep their Obamacare if they want to? Well, that still leaves it in the hand of the federal government, in the hands of the IRS, in the hands of all of those federal bureaucrats that have done a terrible job at doing this anyway, as we predicted, we free marketers predicted. Now, there is one Republican that's put a plan out there that doesn't keep government involved in our health care, and that's Rand Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen his plan. You know, this is simple. Maybe we ought to just try freedom. Remove this law and just open the rules up so people can have health savings accounts that are unlimited. You know, so you can buy insurance from different companies across state lines. So you can come together. You know, me, you, and 10 other people can come together and form a group and say we're gonna get group discounts.
Yeah,
and that will ensure more people than all of these government plans. I know it. He has said it. He's had this plan looked at. But the other Republicans, you're hearing it already. Well, you know, we got to do this, or we got to
wait 2 years and all that mess. What you know what they're saying when they say you know what they're saying to wait in 2 years? They're saying let's wait till we get reelected and then we can do it again. That'll give me 2 more years.
That's exactly right.
Because they got it all now, brother. They got it all. They got the White House, they got the Senate, and they got the House. Obamacare was a lie.
That's right.
And the press is never going to go against Obama and all the lies. They're gonna always beat up on anything Trump does. 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 110% of the time. I mean, look at what's happening. The so-called media in this country has just gone absolutely berserk over the last 48 hours over something that all Donald Trump basically did was photocopy Barack Obama's 7 countries list and put it in his own executive order and said, hey, you're going to start enforcing current law like you should be doing. I mean, really.
And by the way, Bill Clinton said it. The country's been about laws. Colonel Rob Maness, Gator PAC. Colonel, we got to run. Appreciate the call. God bless. Wish you the best of luck.
God bless you.
All right, man. All right, we got to take a break. One more segment to go. Don't go anywhere, folks. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline. Don't go anywhere, folks. And I got an open line. We had all them calls, and we had all the guests today. Randy, you know how we do. No guests or 6. How y'all all? Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. Wow. We had a rock and roll deal. We had both the senators on. And talking about from Obamacare to the horrendous practice in the state of Louisiana. And I'll get to that in a few minutes. The budget of $3.3 billion, up 41% on Medicaid. And they're crying about the budget. There's the money right there. There's your money. All right. Going to jump gears. Not that you go to Shucks and David Bertrand and Bert and the gang. We always brag about how great it is and how much fun it is and how the food is great. And so I hear from David Bertrand. I got him on the line right now. He's actually adding something to the menu. But it would be something that I think people would like, David. It's not that. It's another item. David Bertrand joins us, one of my good friends at Shucks. All right, David. How you doing, first of all?
We're doing good, man. I'm kind of tired, though, Moon. I mean, that show's been exhausting today.
So you do agree with me? If I go hook the boat up and go fishing right now, you don't blame me?
No, man. No. Let me tell you, it's real informative, and I appreciate you holding their feet to the fire and getting some answers for us. But yeah, man, we're excited about the direction that we're taking. Hopefully, things work out, and we're having a lot of optimism around Shucks. There's a lot of things going on, and we're trying to please some of our guests that have been coming for years and years and years, and never since 1973 has Shucks ever sold a ball crawfish at our location.
Wow.
But that's all going to change starting tonight. And we just wanted to invite you, because I know you balled plenty of crawfish in your life.
Man, I was in the catering business. We'd do about 40,000 pounds a year. It was a bunch.
Well, that's how we test all our new dishes, Moon. You're kind of like our test baby. Like Mikey, you eat anything, but goddamn, you're critical too. So
yeah, but by the way, when I leave, the first thing he does is he calls me the next morning. If I ain't sick, we got a good product. Yeah, but David, this is just going to add to everything else y'all doing. My gut feeling is, I just have a sneaky suspicion. People come in there and they go, "Y'all don't have crawfish," and you kind of go, "Yeah, we're going to have them now."
Well, what happened is that, I took about 3 or 4 phone calls to say, look, we're bringing in 10 people. They're coming from out of town. And, how are the oysters? Well, Moon, go to our website. Just go to shucksrestaurant.com. Go to our Facebook page, at Shucks Facebook page. I mean, look at the pictures of oysters that people are taking and posting. I mean, what a compliment. They're taking pictures of our food every day, and they're posting them saying, hey, look at this. Well, the oysters are fabulous. That goes without saying. Right now, it's the best time of year. But then they say, well, good, because I got some folks from out of town. They die and eat some crawfish. And I'm just silent saying, well, we don't have crawfish. And then, here comes a party of 10 going somewhere else because 3 people want to eat crawfish.
Sure.
Well, we're not going to let that happen anymore. We're gonna start today. It may be one of those things where we do it right now. We look like Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
We're going to do them. They come in at about $6.50 a pound, under $20 for a 3-pound order with a potato and a piece of corn. And we tested them last week on my family first. I always test them on my
absolutely,
family.
absolutely.
And we're looking to have you in there real soon. If not tonight, maybe Wednesday or so, you come in. But we'll start tonight at 5:30. I'll be posting some pictures on our Facebook page and online and on our website so people can take a look and see what we got to offer.
Somebody just texted me talking about you. He said he is going to need a bigger place.
Let's hope so, man.
Yeah, I tell you, that'd be a big problem to have. All right, that's Shucks. Now, David, you got 2 locations, of course, in Abbeville, but you're also in Baton Rouge. Is this just going to be the Abbeville location at first?
We're just going to start the crawfish in Abbeville. Okay. Baton Rouge, we'll start a little bit later on. They're waiting. And I just got a really good source here in Abbeville that's going to provide us with some really nice-sized crawfish and clean. So it's we're gonna jump right on it.
Yeah. All right, David. Give out the website, Facebook, and tell them your location.
Yep, we're at shucksrestaurant.com, shucksrestaurant.com. Our Facebook page is Shucks, the Louisiana Seafood House, and we're right at the end of Highway 167 South in good old Abbeville. Take a short drive and come have some dinner with us.
All right, David. I'm looking forward to it. My goal is to be there no later than Wednesday.
Well, we'll look forward to you coming. You just give me a holler. Let me know you're on your way so I can, save you some good parking space.
Hold up just a second. I never asked for a parking spot, but I did go in the back one time, and you had one of your workers back there said, I'm going to park right there by the garbage can. And the guy said, hey, help yourself. And so I parked right by the garbage can. And I said, well, I hope they don't look at me and say, well, that dude's garbage. I'll just throw it in his truck. But no, they didn't. They did a good job. And anyway, we always find a spot. If you have to drive around, it's not a bad thing.
Well, thanks, Moon.
All right.
Having you guys.
All right, David. God bless. Appreciate the call. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline if you'd like to be part of the Moon Griffon Show. By the way, Trump signs executive order to slash regulations on businesses now, Brandon. According to the Drudge Report, executive cutting regulations accompanied by small business leaders. that would seek dramatically pare back federal regulation by requiring agencies to cut 2 existing regulations for every new rule introduced. So you want to my good friend Lyle Miller has been telling me this for years. If the state of Louisiana wants to write another law, they ought to have to get rid of 2. And that would cut back on the frivolous laws and things that they pass. You want to write a law, you got to cut back on 2. And that's what Trump is saying. Every regulation you want to put in, you got to get rid of 2. And by the way, that would help businesses. It's the biggest such act that our country has ever seen. There will be regulations, there will be control, but it will be normalized control. Trump said as he signed the order in the Oval Office surrounded by a group of small business people who, by the way, create most of the jobs in this country. And we need to get away from the craziness of government telling everybody what to do. And the reason they got that is they have created poverty. They have created the poverty-stricken areas. They really have. And they created chaos. They created division in this country. That's what governments do in these countries, and that's what we've done as well. All right, let's go to the phone line. Spencer in Shreveport. How you doing, Spencer?
Good. How are you this morning, man?
Doing fine, sir.
I was just calling to see. I was reading this morning where the Starbucks CEO has made a pledge to hire 10,000 refugees over the next 5 years, and
I read that. I read that too. I was kind of flabbergasted that you would hire somebody. Are they legal immigrants? Are they refugees? There's a big difference.
There is, but I'm gonna have to find me a new place to get my coffee because, why can't they make a pledge to hire our veterans or with so many of our people on unemployment to hire people, refugees, just to try to.
I'm gonna help you out, and I'm gonna give a company a free ride, free ads. Now remember, I'm not cutting the company. I'm not cutting Starbucks. That's not what we do. We don't cut businesses. But that's coming to Shreveport. I know CC's is spreading out around the state, and they do the same thing. They're building up. They built up Monroe. They're coming to Shreveport. And that's a good company, and that's a Louisiana company growing all over the state of Louisiana. Now, once again, I know the politics of the left. I understand that. But I'm just telling you right now that there's a new one coming. Now, there may be some already there, other companies. We wish them the best of luck, and we don't mind you, going to these. But there is a state company, and CC's Coffee. Because I'm just telling you that's one of the places that you can use. So
thank you, man.
All right, man. We appreciate it. By the way, Brandon, the 10,000 hires for 5 years into 75 countries around the world where Starbucks does business. Okay, going to start the effort here doesn't mean they're necessarily going to hire them all here. So just letting you know. And by the way, I don't mind giving a company in our state a little bit of pub, a little bit of love. All right, we got to go. Brandon says that's it. I'm done for a Monday. Don't have to look at him till Tuesday. Terrific Tuesday, by the way. God bless. Have an awesome day. We are. You may as well.